Hey everybody, welcome back to another Hot Dab Sessions live on location from the first ever Hash Masterclass presented by Masterball Melts, Real Deal Resin. Today we have the first ever Poolcast Pool Party hosted by Hashavelli, Dr. Darby, and Simi, Masterball Melts. Now today we're going to be featuring all the attendees of the first ever Hash Masterclass. That means you're going to get to know the next wave of the future hash makers are going to take over America, not just America, the entire world. So today we're going to start out with one dab with Simi. He's going to tell us a little bit about what he has here, what we just had a demonstration squishing today, and then we're going to start with some of our contestants from the show. Now we already have some winners from throughout the weekend, so we have somewhat of a set structure. So Simi, without further ado, what do you say we show off the brand new and improved Resin Roulette Wheel?
Ooh. Let's check it out.
Now this bad boy has a bunch of fun options that are going to give this episode a bunch of unique touches to make it that real pool party vibe. Now we were trying to start when it was sunny out for you guys, but guess what? We forgot some cables, okay? So it's dark out, but there's a pool behind us, we can assure you, and somebody may get tossed in it. Now as you can see on the wheel, we have an underwater dab. Somebody might drown today. So this could be the last episode ever. So if it is, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Simi, go ahead and spin the wheel.
Woo! Let's go. 800. Wow.
800 is a great start. Jesus Christ. Now I'm going to be going in with this Toro Vortex XXL. It looks like Darby's going to be going in on that Yoshi. And we have a special piece made just for today's show. I'll let the next person we have on talk about who made it, because Simi is just fucking stealing it for this segment.
Well, we're glad you guys could make it. We're excited to be here, and Hash Mansion is officially underway.
Hash Mansion is officially underway. It has been underway. Everything has been a little bit later than expected to start, but at least we are starting. And speaking of start, I don't know if you can hear me, Patreon, but a lot of people are getting their start into the hash making journey after this weekend. Simi, can you tell us a little bit about what we learned today, what we were doing on the press, and what's this jar of hash you have here?
Yeah, so today we went over some pressing techniques, and we had some actual hands-on press experience with our different attendees. We pressed some dual set of press grown by Willards. Some of the 90 to 120 microns. We have some of that rosin upstairs, and tonight we'll be going over a second wash. We'll be washing some additional material and going over some of our melt making techniques, and of course collecting and getting it done.
Awesome, Simi. Way to make it sound really boring. We're having a lot of fun out here, even though Simi likes to string it along. I forgot we're at 800, so I already missed my dab. Now with these dab rights, we're going to have to dab wrong. We can't tell if it's 800 or not. We're going to have to go in at too hot.
I'm waiting for Too Hot to move.
Mine already says too hot, so I'm just gonna go because cheers.
Now, like Simi said, we want to thank Will Arts for being the cultivator that made some of the material that we were lucky enough to press today. Now, we were pressing 6-star, which means we could have just kept it as melt, but we wanted to show people what the absolute best quality would look like in and out of the press. So thank you, Simi. Thank you, Will Arts. We had a little bit of a contest. We had 3 teams of 2 all going at it, the same exact material, and we compared the actual yield from each press. So today you're going to get to meet our winners. We had a bunch of mini games throughout the weekend. We also have a future Tiger Woods in the making. If he's not the best hash maker in the world, he's going to be the best golfer.
Our boy Young PGA.
Young PGA, too hot. I'm just going to go in because we can't tell. 800 to start your day.
Good one.
Now, Simi, this is the first installment of the Hash Masterclass, but not the last. This class is not just about learning, it's about having fun and creating lifelong connections, sharing genetics, sharing experiences, and sharing passion. The right morals, the right ideals, the right values. So if you're interested, if you're bummed out that you missed the first one, stay tuned for the next one, popping up at a mansion near you. Now, Simi, without further ado, you gotta get the fuck off the set so we can welcome some of our attendees. What do you say?
Let's go.
Welcome back. Today, our first guest and the winner of the Yield Challenge at the Hash Masterclass is none other than the solventless sommelier himself.
I am the solventless sommelier. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for joining us. Now, Ryan, this is your first time joining us, first time meeting Simi and myself. So go ahead, tell us a little bit about your background, what attracted you to the cannabis industry, and what made you want to learn more about the hash making process this weekend.
Well, the biggest thing is there's so many mistakes that can be made in the process that, I mean, this class is cheaper than any opportunity of buying material and trying on your own. So it's to really learn like how the experts do it, how the people that have won competitions have done it, those little tips and tricks that are going to help you in the long run that, you know, instead of just making mistakes, you just can find it out ahead of time.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Like we talked about during the class, myself and Sam, when we established our company 7 years ago, did the same exact thing that everybody's doing this weekend. We had somebody help us for one weekend, and then we were off to the races. And it helped alleviate a lot of those issues that can really cost you a lot of money, you know, a lot of valuable learning lessons. So, Ryan, I know you mentioned you're from Northern California. Have you worked in the cannabis industry at all before this, or is this kind of your first introduction professionally to it?
Well, about 7 or 8 years ago, you know, I grew cannabis in the Santa Rosa area, you know, and I also was a contractor that, you know, a lot of my work was putting together rooms and stuff like that. So I have experience from that end of the cannabis industry. But, you know, this is just you know, where the cannabis industry is going, and it's really the purest essence of the plant.
I totally agree. Yeah, solvents. A lot of people ask, you know, like, why are you attracted to solvents? What's the difference between that and BHO? But I think you just captured it perfectly. It captures, especially a full plant fresh frozen, the essence of the plant while it's on the vine. You know, you really get to experience it.
And as much as I really enjoy flower, it's just like that's adding that aspect of heat and carcinogens and this stuff where, you know, the solventless rosin is just, it's not that.
Yeah, totally agree with you. And by dabbing, you're taking away a lot of that combustion that you would deal with all the plant matter. So definitely agree with you in that regard. Now, what are some of your goals? I know your name is Solventless Sommelier, and throughout the weekend, you've been talking about pairings and trying to be able to explain to people in a professional manner the taste they might be ready to experience. Now, what are some of your goals going forward?
Well, going forward, like, I really want to be able to, you know, test and taste what's out there and really try to kind of patch that, you know, the middle ground of, you know, really telling a description of, you know, something I'm smoking to something it's tasting that would pair well. Like, I have one that was very cheesy, and it tasted like I had a brie cheese, melted brie cheese in my mouth, and it's like, oh, this would be a wonderful pairing if there was a charcuterie plate we were eating while we were having this. And it's that really experience of being an actual sommelier for rosin. You know, fresh food and fresh smoke. There's nothing that you can really, especially here in California, we have so much produce. What is better to match it with?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Now, do you think that there's a benefit to being able to explain to people in these similarities to food to somebody that might be a novice or like afraid of experiencing concentrate?
Well, that's what I really hope to do with opening up the food thing is the people that are novices and afraid of the word dab, you know, or concentrate, where they're like, oh, I'm going to get so high I can't function. It's like, no, there's a lot of this that you're really not as high as a lot of other things, but you're getting that flavor. You're getting, you know, this much more pure, you know, product.
Yeah, totally agree with you. Speaking of pure product, we have some pure products right ahead of us. Now, the reason that Ryan was going first today is because your team was first place with a yield of 92% from their first ever squish all.
Congratulations.
So today we're going to be doing a little bit of smoking. It won't be exactly what we pressed, but you do have the chance, just like Simi, to spin the special edition Pool Party Rosin Roulette wheel.
Let's go.
Now,
All right.
are you ready for this bad boy?
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
One thing we didn't discuss is, should we keep everything on the wheel, or as people land on it, should we erase it?
Then we go blink, you spin again.
Yes. How many do we have? 3, 6, 9. And that's good for the guests, because, yeah. So should we erase one every time? Sydney got 800, erase it? Okay.
All right.
We're making up rules as we go.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's a good idea.
Oh, and today, you know, talking about the pieces and stuff from the last one. This was a special actual piece that was made for the weekend from Will Glass out of Santa Barbara and Blaze out of Half Moon Bay. Made this specially for the Hash Mansion this weekend so that we could have just an absolute little ripper for all of us to be able to have, for everyone to be able here to use throughout the whole weekend.
That's amazing. We really appreciate it. Now, you let me hit this earlier in the weekend, and it functions amazing. It's almost like it's weird because it's like the contradiction that it's effortless, but it's also a shredder because you actually feel the resistance still, and it's a really fun experience because like the rig itself can really change the whole process of consumption into a spiritual process. You know, just like the ritual aspect of rolling up. Kind of the sesh aspect is kind of like a ceremonial thing, hanging out with your friends, you know, the relaxation amongst it.
Oh yeah, and I mean I commissioned this one, and the glass is actually made from Will Glass with silver, gold, and platinum like infused in the glass, and it's actually as you talk about spirituality, it's metals from my family. The silver was from a coin that was from when I got married to my wife in Reno. The gold was from my grandmother. I had it in my safe, and then a little piece of platinum that I had found, and I just put that all, and it just made it like Will's a friend. You know, this brought in California and friends, like we're doing here. We're bringing in this new community, new friendships and stuff. Not just are we here to learn about hash, we're here to really have new friendships, new connections, and new avenues to just have friends.
Yep, well said.
Like-minded people gathering together.
Yeah.
And enjoy their passions.
Your vibe attracts your tribe, and right now our vibe is about to attract a red hot ripper. Now, this is your chance to spin the wheel. I'll hold it for you. You give it a spin.
The wheel gives you what you want.
The wheel gives you what you need. Double slurp.
Double slurp.
Now that
Congratulations.
that kind of nulls the rig that you had specifically made for the class. So should we give him a chance to do another?
Is there the adapter?
Oh, actually, we
do have an adapter.
We did talk about this. Only one of us have to do what the wheel lands on.
Yeah.
So one of us could do the double slurp, and you could show off your rig.
Fair enough.
Do you want to do that?
That's totally fine.
Or you're looking like you want to spin it again.
Why don't we try to
Spin it again.
All right, spin it again.
He's looking at it like he wants to spin it again. Whoa, it went backwards there.
Bong.
A nice little bong. Now this is very fitting. This is the guy we were upstairs. We said, we got 3 blanks. What should we put? He kept saying bong. Put bong. And then we finally said, you know what? That is a good idea.
Why
After
is
he
it
said it
perfect
3
for him?
times, because he is the one that brought the bong. So sir, do you have it ready?
Too.
It is ready upstairs, but I would just need to go grab it.
Let's go grab it. Then. You can
Unplug.
unplug.
And we'll
Patreon.
wait.
We'll wait with. So today, for the first time ever, you're going to be seeing a double slurper through an iced out bong with the glycerine coil. That's right,
Old
folks.
school.
Right.
If you're just a 2000s baby, you don't even know what the fuck this is.
Never had a glycerin adapter? Have you even lived?
Glycerine. This is the shit you put in your freezer and you feel a lot cooler when you get high out of it.
It is a lot cooler.
Some people think it helps your lungs, some people think it doesn't. But today we're going to put it all to the test. So go ahead and help yourself to a big scoop. We can do dealer's choice on temp.
Let's do 650.
Deal.
Sounds fair.
Just to feel alive. As some
Just
would
to
say.
feel-
Are we both going to have to throw up our dab rights?
What do you mean? You think we should put them both, or just judge off of one and just go in on both?
Both,
You've seen it.
because we know what
We've
happens.
tried that.
All right, Darby, do you want to help him?
I'd be happy to.
He'd be more than happy to. That's what teamwork is all about. Friendship. Friendships are formed, and they're everlasting over the bond of hot dabs.
I got one in the.
Are those fireworks? Oh, you can see them straight ahead in the distance. You see those?
Oh
You
shit!
guys see that? It looks like they're like not even leaving the ground.
Probably not.
So
It's
high up.
yeah. We're so high. Huh?
Yeah.
Are we saying?
You get it? See, Darby's gonna get one up on puns because he's not paying attention. This,
I gotta let the small fish eat.
you see, this is the day Darby has met his match.
Busted.
All right. I'm gonna
Fellas,
scoop
You know,
it.
it's so strange. You know, 2 car guys get together and they're the ones that have the wit.
Yeah. Exactly.
You need that to love cars.
All right, Darby, are you loaded? All right, you got 2 dabbers loaded. Perfect. I'll heat up with you so we dab at the same time so you're not feeling left out. Now, this is kind of like the cross joint from Pineapple Express in the sense that you can't even light this shit by yourself.
We also need to make sure we got 2 caps for this because I didn't grab an extra cap while I was up there.
Well, Ryan, what are some of your favorite brands to consume at home?
You know, funny enough, it is Real Deal. It is,
Good choice.
Funny enough.
you know, Real Deal. Sugar Magnolia is, you know, some decent friends of mine, and then also Solventless Motion out of LA has been really bringing down a little bit of fire that I've been liking.
Solventless Motion.
Yep.
Shout out Solventless Motion, Real Deal Resin, and Sugar Magnolia.
All brands.
2 of those brands just did a
like
collab together. And
That
there's
was
going to be
fire.
shirts dropping soon.
What was that flavor? The blue.
Blue Bunny. That's going to be the honey bunny with the blue mosa blended.
Fire!
So wind is going to be a little bit of a factor, so just keep that in mind as you guys are heating that up.
It says too hot at this point on that one. So
Alright, that's close enough.
yeah.
So Ryan, what are going to be some of your goals after taking this class? Are you going to be looking to get into just washing, or are you going to grow also?
I'll do a little. I'll grow, but more or less it's washing, you know, and really trying to, you know, search out those really good people that are really having those grows with, you know, amazing soil and those things, you know, finding the people that are doing it right.
Yeah, so trying to source and collab with the best growers with the best inputs, the best intentions. That's the name of the game, folks. You can't cut corners when it comes to solventless.
Right.
Some other
Yeah,
you can
650.
remediate, but solventless, it will be the truest reflection of what went into it. I don't know what I did with my marble.
It says 680 right now.
Oh, boom. 650s.
Yeah, go 650 and the lower. One's 650, one's gonna be a little better flavor.
Oh, I think the wind played a factor on mine.
The wind. Outdoor dabs are always tricky.
I'm going to start going in order on all the dabs going forward. That one definitely got a little bit cooled down too quick.
The double slurper, double down.
It's going crazy. Double slurper fully in effect. Did you go in on 2 different strains on each side?
Actually, went to the same one on
Both.
On both sides.
wow.
If you do a different strain on each side, you can kind of get the experience of both separately until it hits the palate, which is pretty cool. But still, double the fun for those lungs. What do you think? What's your overall reaction?
Really, actually, quite a great one. Smooth.
When you do the right D2T, as you just did, it doesn't really matter that we did it somewhat hot. You're still going to have a great experience.
Really good. Really, really smooth, especially with glycerin and the ice cooling it down a little bit.
Yeah, the glycerin definitely probably helped.
Yeah, will you hand me that butane, Darby? All right, so folks at home, if you're wondering, man, does this ice really help? Does it really cool it down? Does the glycerin really help? Yes, it does. We have put it to the test. It will be a little bit easier on those lungs, especially when you're taking it at hotter temps. Brody, you're going to go inside. You're on thin ice, Brody.
Yeah, Brody.
All right, now Ryan, at the end of the class, we are going to be breaking a record, so you are going to be joining us at the end of the podcast. But is there anything that you want to say to the people? Where can they find you? What should they look out for going forward with your cannabis sommelier, the solventless sommelier brand?
You know what? Look forward to me in the next couple of months. I'll probably be activating more in August after I get a little bit of stuff recorded to really taste the flavors that some of the flavors that you guys have got this weekend that I was able to get. Some from my other people, so I can start those and test them and then release something every day for about a month to see, you know, what you guys think and you guys give me feedback.
Beautiful. So look out for that, everybody. He's starting his journey, and you can follow along with him as he achieves greatness. It all starts with one step, and after that, it's off to the races.
That's right.
Ryan, thanks for coming to the class.
So
We'll
much
see you
for
in a little
having me.
bit. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
So just
Have a good
unplug.
one.
And then, okay, who's next? Luke. Welcome our next hash maker, Luke from Roaring Water Solvents. Luke, thanks for joining us. All the way from Missouri, folks. Yes, that's right. They have fire in the Midwest. Not the wildfires that we're dealing with, but I'm talking about fire in a jar. Luke has been showing us some of the best hash I've seen in quite a minute that he's been making out of his single source garden. It's all single source, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep. Single source over there in the Midwest. So Luke, tell us a little bit about your operation and what made you get into the cannabis industry.
So we have a couple different grows. We have a bigger grow. We use Athena and cocoa in to just maximize, get jars pumped out for everybody who wants it at cheaper price points. And then we also have like a smaller batch, living soil indoor grow to kind of push that top tier quality for people who likely want to pay that more expensive price point. So we just try to push like as much as we can in terms of quality and like cleanliness in both of our grows. And we even like try out both of our, strains in both of our different grows to like check how they do in each style. Like we see a noticeable difference in terpenes with living soil for sure.
Noticeably better.
Yeah.
Yeah. But are you enabled to offer a really compassionate price point by using the Athena line?
Yeah.
Yeah. How wide is the difference in comparison?
You know, some strains do like really good still living soil, but like you can just crank in the Athena and you can just like really maximize and make sure you're getting consistent yields, especially in like veg time and everything, like turnover. Just salts and like cocoa is easier. Generally, it's easier to work with. You don't have as much soil to work with.
More forgiving.
Yeah, more forgiving for sure. Definitely more turnaround time. It's just a little bit easier to crank out for sure.
But in transparency, when it comes down to actually the quality level, you prefer yourself the living soil operation?
Yeah, 100%.
And why do you think that is? What do you think makes it taste better?
It's just the inputs. Yeah. It's what the plant's getting and eating. It's like what's going to be making the cell tissue and everything.
Yeah.
Consuming.
Just like us ourselves, either eat healthy or McDonald's every day, and you're going to see it in the end.
Have you noticed yields changing between the?
So sometimes some strains do just as good in living soil. Like this peach cross and Rocky Peaches we have does really good in both systems. But the hash is just a little bit greasy in a living soil and just a little bit more like full body.
Okay, so the euphoric effects be enhanced.
Yeah, you get more flavor, you get more the experience is more broad.
Yeah. And what about the melt quality? Do you pull for full melt? Do you notice a difference in the Athena line versus the living soil when it comes with producing full melt?
So we get really good, clean, full melt in Athena still, but the hash just gets really greasy and really like terpy with the living soil. The Athena resin seems to be more stable, like almost always. And like, you can take that as a good thing or a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's really just dependent on your preference, but I like the more terps at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I'm all in it for the taste. Because you can smoke 10 of one thing, but if it's not satisfying, I'd rather have one dab of something that is satisfying.
It's all going to get you high, so you might as well pick the best flavor to get there.
So,
grown well gives you a better high.
What are some of the genetics that you've hunted that you're happy with out there in Missouri? Because you've been showing me a bunch of unique cuts that you say all yield well for you out there, and they all have good terp profiles. What are some of your favorites that you're running?
So we just got through a big hunt. We hunted Cherry 91 Soda from Umami, Gummy from Umami, Tropic Candy from Oni, Papaya Nectar from Oni. I did a Honey Bunny from Oni, which did really well. Actually, yields really good. It's really honey banana dominant.
That's what you're looking for.
Yeah, really super sweet, almost like a juicy fruit type terp profile. And then these jars I have right here actually came from my buddy Peter. He hunted the Super Buff Cherry and he bred out that peaches cut. He gave me those to try out. They've been rocking really, really well for me. I also run a GMO out there that does really, really solid. A couple of people still like GMO.
Yeah. And it definitely protects the bottom line for you.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really nice cushion.
Sometimes you got to give people what they want.
Yeah.
Definitely you can offer it at a compassionate price point too. Are there any companies specifically that you look towards, or do you just look at what the crosses are and try to predict, this is something that my palate would like when you're choosing your strains? What do you go for strategically?
So I've just been coming out to the West Coast market for like the past couple of years now, and gathering of like what I like and my actual palate. And I lean towards more sweeter strains, as you can see with like peaches and cherries and bananas and all the different fruits and stuff, and then maybe even some candies here and there. Because I'm about to start working on a Blue Nerds here soon.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy those.
Yeah, gonna be fire.
I really enjoy those lighter terp profiles, but I do enjoy like a nice stink too. And I guess lately the stink has been kind of coming back and mixing with the fruit. Like you guys are garlic juice, that looks really good.
Love it. Yeah, it's kind of gas dominant, but yeah, I feel like you said, it's coming back somewhat, especially on the East Coast. It may have not really ever went away. We saw gas and sour back crosses are winning some competitions out there.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of competitions, we have some hash here on the table that has won some competitions. We can smoke your hash too if you'd like us to showcase yours. And some fire rigs. Did you already tell us what glass you brought on?
So this is an Earl Jr. bottle. It's one of his 4D designs. I got this last year at the Midwest Meltdown. I've been loving this thing ever since. It's a good daily driver. Oh yeah, I love how it just kicks back into itself, drains back into itself perfectly in the infinity motion. This one's Scotty Nickel. I really like this color because he didn't have any gold amethyst laying around, so he just layered gold, ruby, and sapphire over each other.
Really?
And just made his own gold amethyst.
That's amazing. So it's a custom gold amethyst.
Yep, custom gold amethyst.
All right, today we're going to be putting these rigs to the test. We're going to pull out the wheel once again. This thing is devilish. It scares me every time I pull it out. So
I quenched a little.
without further ado, go ahead and give it a spin. Let's see what we're doing.
650.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Everybody in the
Great
back
victory,
is
Terps.
pissed off right now because they all wanted the easy ones.
Not today.
Whoever's going to go last is jumping in the pool. It looks like going underwater. I might drown at the end, folks.
Okay. Someone here knows CPR.
So 650 is actually going to be awesome. We're going to be able to showcase the full ability of this race.
This is the exact temperature I was hoping.
So let's go ahead and heat up. Now, as we're heating up, did you say you want us to try something that you grew in Missouri?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So I got some Super Buff Cherry here, which is Super Booth and Trop Cherry Cross.
And this is going to taste awesome at 650 because that Super Booth and Trop Cherry both taste good at higher temperatures.
I like to dab a little hotter, and I like to take a little bit bigger dabs. So I like around 650, 70 sometimes for like after dabs. And Trop Terps just do better at those temperatures, and especially a more stable resin like this will do better at those temperatures. I've seen some resins just char, and even in the same, like, grown in the same room, same style, washed the same and everything. They just have, I guess, a little bit more carbon built up in the bottom of the head, so you get a little bit more char on the dab. But this actually burns like water still at higher temperatures.
Yeah, it's unique to see which terpenes hold up better than others.
Yeah, exactly.
We've been discussing creating a line of back crosses that all do well at high temps. All right, I'm at 650 already. Oh shit. We're dropping stuff already.
Thank you.
I've been waiting to hit this all weekend. This thing shreds. No, he's from Virginia, right? East Coast? Cody Nichols?
No, he's from Colorado.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that Super Booth tastes awesome.
So you're into glass, huh?
Oh yeah, I have a little bit of a collection.
A little bit of a collection.
That tastes amazing. So was this one that you just let us taste from the living soil, you said?
Yep,
Yeah.
that's from my living soil brew. Just I could dial it in a little bit more. It's a little bit more small batch. I can give a little bit more love and care.
What's your goals going forward? Are you trying to stay small batch? Or are you trying to scale up and retain your quality control? Here he goes. Now, a lot of people have been asking, do we eat like killers? Why is there nothing in your nail? Me and Darby have been going bareback for a couple episodes, Barely even dipping.
Sometimes with the hotter dabs, it just like scorches some of the hits with the velocity and how much we're trying to smoke. You don't want to fuck up the chirp on enjoy them.
Velocity plus viscosity is getting fucked up, folks. I got a long episode. But today we are using some inserts. When we have a rig like this, I feel like you really got to use an insert to get the full function out of it.
Agreed, yeah. I enjoy my rig with the insert. I have my pearl right there, but for this one, I just wanted to kind of just enjoy it
Did we ever get it done?
as low and close to 650 and lower as I could. With respect, we did not.
So you were asking if I'm going to scale up or?
Yeah, what's your goals going forward? Are you going to stay small batch or are you going to try to scale up while retaining that quality?
Our goal is to scale up and put ourselves into the legal market in Missouri and really push just quality onto the legal market since there's not much out there. But in the meantime, we're working on getting another little space to meet, demands. But just a lot of people have been, trying to get stuff out there in Missouri. It's hard to keep up sometimes. With
Really?
prices.
So there's more demand?
Yeah, it's a pretty good market out there, actually. There's a lot of hash heads and a lot of people who like glass and a lot of people who care about the market. So.
Yeah. Shout out Growing with Justin and all those boys out there, Oak Organics.
Oh, yeah.
They crush it out there, and we're going to be competing in some of the competitions coming up there in July. So shout out to the Midwest. You guys are killing it. Shout out Luke, Roaring Water Hash Co. Keep an eye out at your next competition, and you better watch your back, folks, because he's coming for you. This booth ain't no booth. This is fire.
Yeah, and the one that I smoked is super fire.
So, Luke, if people want to get a hold of you, if they want to watch your journey, watch you continue to grow, what's the best way for them to do so?
You can just follow me at my personal account. I just post a lot more on there since I use my roaring water as more of a vessel for the legal market. I just go by my name, Luke Hobbs, '09. So,
At Luke Hobbs 09.
Yep.
I'll put it right here.
Yep.
And Roaring Water Hash is
Roaring Water Solvent.
Roaring Water Solventless is the brand page if you want to keep up with that. All right, thank you, Luke. This is some fire hash. Thank you for joining us, man. Appreciate you. Great rips. All right, and we're back with our next guest coming out of New Mexico. Today, we have the founder of the Nomad Canico. Jason, thanks for joining us today.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Thanks for being here, man.
Appreciate you for coming out. He brought his partner that will be joining us next, but we're going to start with the man and the founder behind the brand. Now, Jason, tell us a little bit about the scene in New Mexico. What's it like down there, and what made you choose to get into the cannabis industry?
Well, as you know, New Mexico's a new rec market. It's been medical for quite a while, but for the last few years, running rec, everything's getting itself balanced. Everybody's trying to find their places, Of course, now everybody's trying to figure out if they can grow, if they can make hash, if they can do anything at all. And a lot of the products on the market are real still pretty sketchy, I guess you could say. Nobody's really wanting to learn or, start bringing out new products. And that's where we come in. We really feel like there's a whole industry out there. And, we need to be a part of it, coming forward into Mexico and rep it real well. That's why we're down here, trying to come and learn from you guys that have really put in the time over the last few years. The last 20 years, it's just been a complete change from when y'all started.
Yeah, in the last 5 years alone, with new technology, with the freeze dryers and the progression in the rosin press, it's changed everything, especially the solventless market that we see today emerging, like you talked about. So what attracted you? I know in a lot of these new states, they're not even sure what rosin is or what solventless is. How did you first hear about it, and what made you interested in creating the best product possible?
I want to make sure that our company brings our customers the most and the best use possible. In doing so, you sit around and you do your research and you dig and dig and dig and see where you need to be, and here we are. And this is the purest, cleanest possible way to bring your customers what they need. And from here on out, it's just us as do our job as educators to make sure that everybody really sees what we're after.
Yeah.
So I agree. Yeah, taking care of the community and making sure you put your best foot forward so that you're not just thumbing up on that, but you're actually using that to invest in the future of the industry and the community to make sure that you can actually provide them with, things like this. And I've heard about some of the things that you're doing out in Mexico, and it sounds like, your community is really appreciative and you really hook them up.
Yeah.
50% off.
Yeah, you've mentioned all the holidays you give 50% off. Now,
How
we
much
haven't
is-
mentioned the Nomad Canna Company is not just a solventless production company, nor is it just a grow. They're vertically integrated. So you guys already have dispensaries throughout New Mexico, correct?
Yeah, we've got 3 dispensaries. We've got a few more coming up. We're in Hobbs, Tatum, and Roswell's being built. We've also built with a consumption lounge in it.
And a consumption line.
So people can go buy their product and consume right on site.
Right on site.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you said you have a good relationship with the community and they supported you in a lot of your endeavors. What are some of your goals going forward? Do you plan on staying in New Mexico area, or do you have any plans to go outside the state lines?
When we first started this, we wanted to get up like anybody else. We had big hopes and visions. We wanted 26 dispensaries. We wanted to take off and do our thing. And now that we really get in and we focus in on top of all of our customers and the customer needs, that's just too much. That turns you into a commercial guy.
Mhm.
That's not what we're about. We still want to do the small batch, single source, be really strict on our quality control. And so we're going to limit ourselves down to about 7 dispensaries and a few manufacturing facilities. And then we're going to look at other states because other states need the same thing that New Mexico needs.
You'd rather vertically integrate rather than commercialize.
Right.
That's
Absolutely.
nice.
Yeah, and then they can come to us because at that point, our quality is going to stand out and show for itself. We continue associating with folks like yourself that are just out here killing the game. I mean, it's only going to set us up with
Yeah. And you mentioned you've already had success. One of the reasons that your brand got off to such a hot start was because of your winning of a competition down there, the grow off in New Mexico, correct?
Yeah, we won the Mexico Growers Cup. I mean, just as it went wreck like the next month.
Really?
In a better time. So
Yeah, that's amazing.
it really drove us off to bringing in some great flower.
And at that point, did you know that you were planning to start this whole endeavor, or was it kind of a hobby at that point for you when you were growing for the cup that you ended up winning?
No, we were growing to come in and grow for the state.
You knew it, yeah.
Yeah, we come in. We had already been prepared. Me and my wife had traveled all over Colorado to California, Nevada, and Arizona just to see what everybody was doing. Spent months and months, 8 months through COVID, and while my family was at home, and I stayed up in Oklahoma learning how to grow commercially. And
You mentioned you went to OSU for that, Oklahoma State.
some of those guys come over and really helped us fine tune in the nutrient line of it.
So you put your nose to the grindstone and really
Proactively been chasing.
And
So a lot of people at home, you know, you may be looking at episodes or you may be seeing people and you say, man, they're lucky, or hey, man, it'd be nice to be them, you know. But man, he just talked about all the work he put in, taking on a new industry that he may not have been as familiar with, but he didn't make excuses or just expect somebody to do the job for him. He put in the work, and as you can see, he's here. He's mentioned he's been at other courses, so he's going around making connections and learning and actually putting in the work. So if you want to lead a company, be prepared to actually learn it from the ground up, because it's hard to ask people to do jobs if you don't quite understand what you're asking.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I feel like your experience in your other fields have kind of prepared you for that. Like it's taught you how to successfully lead a team. Because like you mentioned when we had a conversation earlier, we were just smoking a joint during like the sunrise. You're stronger with more than just yourself. You know, you can accomplish so much by yourself, but it's the team that you surround yourself with. And it seems like you have a great team, a great community building down there in New Mexico. So if you're in New Mexico, or if you're on the border of Texas and close to that New Mexico border, go check out the Nomad Canna Company, because they're doing things right and they're doing it for the right reasons. And those are the type of people that you need to support. That's why we made this podcast in the first place. And I've been really appreciative to meet you and connect with you guys out here, because it's always, it reignites the fire and the flame of why we do all this and why we chose solventless. Because you may look at other SKUs that are more profitable, but are they poisoning people? You know, we just saw the Pesty Pen revelation come out, you know, even if they're clean, they're dirty, you know?
Right.
So solventless is one way to create a niche for yourself while resting your head easy at night, knowing you're not poisoning people. If you're doing it the right way, you're actually probably helping a lot of people.
Absolutely.
So thank you. Without further ado, I think it's time to rip a dab. Now, another thing I love about these guys, not only do they lead their company, they
lead it by example.
as Adam Mills would say, he is a real smoker.
Goddamn right.
Now we have some good choices left on the wheel. I'm going to let you spin. If it lands on jump in the pool, that's the only thing I'm going to jump in for him. Because I'm feeling a little toasty out here.
Just a
And
little
I
warm.
need to take a dip. So go ahead, give it a spin.
Strikeout.
Oh, fuck.
What y'all got to drink? Cold beer?
We got beer in the fridge. Do you want to grab a couple Dos Equis for us, please?
Unless you want to do a shot.
I'm down.
You down?
Good.
All right, so this is how the strikeout will work. If you guys have ever seen, what was the movie, The Hangover, that this was from? Old School? Which one was it? Old School?
I have no clue.
I think it is Old School. So the strikeout is usually
Old
you
school.
take a bong
Frank the
rip.
Tank.
Yeah, Frank the Tank. You take the
Yeah.
bong rip, and then I think you take the shot, and then you chug a beer and you blow it out. But I don't know if I have all of that in me. I think just a shot and
a gentlemanly shot,
because a dab is more than a
Not
bong
really,
rip, you know?
and then taking a bong rip.
And then blow it. No, we take the hit, we take the shot, and then we blow the smoke
I
out.
think that's. Yeah. So excited about that.
Right? You down for that?
I'm down.
I think they call that a lobo in New Mexico.
Shit. I thought that was a Ford F-150.
All right, so the temperature is going to be up to us. That's one nice thing. We can kind of do whatever we want. And you brought an awesome piece of glass here, too. Tell us what you brought today.
Yeah, dude.
We stopped through on our way up from New Mexico. We went into Denver for another class, and before that, I'd gotten a hold of Blitz and Craigian and Robertson had made this piece here.
Oh, this is awesome. I was looking at it the other day, and I couldn't figure out what the center was, but it's the inflatable portion for it's like a floaty, a pool floaty,
I think so sick.
and it even has the little rubber tab.
And you got the big red floaty. Look. like a Blitzkrieg
Right in the back, yeah.
dog also.
So I'll do a little
Beautiful.
close up. It is beautiful. The detail is amazing. It has like a matte finish and all the way down to like the green in his eyes and the detail in the teeth. It's pretty gnarly.
Yeah. Matt Robinson's one of my favorite artists, and Splits is one of my favorite artists. I seeing the collab, I was just like, yeah, this is
Man, I dreamt about it. You know, I kept looking at that balloon dog, looking at the balloon dog, and I saw the head, and actually he had made it for a Puffco topper.
yeah.
And I got a hold of the list, said, hey, that's exactly what I want. So,
You're all
with a
make
happy
that
face, that was my only thing. I want a happy face on. Look like he's partying. You know?
He is
Yeah.
partying, and we're partying right now. So I'm going to pass you this banana daiquiri. Now, this is our Nomwa blended run with our Amarillo Fino that we call Arnie Palmy. So that's lemonade and banana punch, and that's ran with the Banana OG Mimosa V6. So those are two Finos that we Fino hunted and kept that do well for solveness, also do well at temps at high, or dabs at high temps. Yeah, exactly.
So looks like you're doing about a 600 D2T.
D2T as always, and people
D2
look
what?
out D2T. If you're dabbing at home, it's not always the size of the dab in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dab. That means the temperature you're going up against has to match the dab size. Now, since we're doing a strikeout, we're gonna have to get some of this ready. We're not getting paid enough, so we're not gonna show the bottle. Yerba, we're waiting for you.
You're where you at though?
All right.
Where you're?
There's a little bit of salt on these already, garnished by our boy Justin came through. Shout out Justin for creating some beautiful meat on the grill for us today. You don't have to do all of it. I just went a little. Yeah, I forgot what I was doing. I thought we were sipping it.
I'm just gonna take a little sip of it, you know. Sure.
And there's already a little bit in here that I poured up earlier.
He was trying to get me.
I was trying to get him going earlier.
Do it earlier.
All right, so we got those poured out. We got limes. Would you like a lime? So the name of this game is taking the rip, holding it in, taking the shot, and blowing it all out at once. I think we can do it. You guys ready?
No.
Without further ado, let's do it.
Just get it over.
At least we don't have to jump in the pool yet, are we? It's inevitable. I think it's inevitable at this point.
Fucking rock and roll, bro.
Now, we were chatting earlier, Patreon, this might just be for you because it might be tough to hear. But we were smoking that joint on the deck earlier, and you brought out two strains with you. What were those two strains that you got with you this trip?
Slap and Tickle and Van Helsing.
Slap and Tickle and Van Helsing. And when we were smoking these joints, first of all, him and his partner, his associate that he brought, roll the biggest, best joints. They're just on point. They're like freaking...
So fire.
Yeah, elephant trunks, man, and they all stand up perfectly. But they all burn so white, too. So, if anybody has ever looked as that to be an indicator for quality, rest assured, when you're smoking the Nomad Canna Company, it is going to be white as can be, and still all that great taste. It tasted good all the way down to the end. That's one thing. I don't smoke a lot of flower, but when I do, I want it to actually taste good to the end. I don't want to take a couple hits and already be over the
And it was a good high too. Afterwards, I was just walking around, just like
Enjoy yourself.
singing to the music in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys already have your grow developed for your flower. What do you look for when you're actually choosing your genetics right now? Are you just looking for things that you personally like to taste, or do you do the research into what your consumers are looking for, and does that help you guide what you're planning?
Right now, we're just trying to build on. We're trying to get everything going. We're on our second harvest so far, so we're still trying to get that room dialed in. We're working on some new genetics. Got about 40 different strains we're working on right now. And so within the next couple of harvests, we'll really have everything dialed in where we need and exactly what genetics we're going to run.
So from those 40 genetics, what are you going to try to narrow it down to keep in constant production? What's your sweet spot that you're looking for?
Really flower for.
How many different strains?
We want to keep at least 12.
12. That's a good number.
Sure.
Yeah, because that's easy to manage. It's not too much, and it's enough to create batch sizes that you're going to be able to get out to everybody to try. Because limited editions, like exclusive batches, are cool, but it does suck when people feel left out. And that is a good way to manage and pick your best 12 in rotation. Oh, I forgot we were doing strikeouts. All right, here we go. 600. Let's go. Brody said he's getting out of here on that one.
I want to go with Brody.
What do you think? Was that your first strikeout?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It's a rush, right?
Tasted wonderful.
Opens up that esophagus. Woo! Woo!
So I take the shot and put them in there.
No, you take the hit and then the shot.
Okay, cool.
Okay, and then you throw it out. Ooh! Just give me a minute. I should have done it at 600. It was like a spicy fucking. Oh, it was like pouring ice on the damn open wound. Open wound being my throat. So, what are some of your goals going forward with your brand and going forward with this new industry that you're a part of?
Just really focus on quality control.
QC.
That's it. That's it.
Why is that so
The rest will-
important for you?
The rest will follow.
So you believe that good QC will just bring the consumer back?
Good quality control, in our eyes, is all we care about is the medicine. That's it. And without quality control, it's no longer medicine.
It's refreshing to hear that because a lot of people lose sight, especially as it has become recreational to a larger degree. And especially when we have people like me doing this shit, hot dabs, you know, it's just taken to an extreme at times, but it is created. And this platform is to get people to realize, you know, this is medicine for a lot of people. I talked about it before. The reason I started smoking originally was because I had stomach sickness, and I was so sick every day before school. The only thing that would settle my stomach was the medicine, the plant, you know. And it is just a plant in the end. So if people want to find the Nomad Canna Company, I'm fine. He's fine, dude.
Tastes
Good for
good.
doing these.
We're gonna bring him out. Jason is gonna start coming out to San Diego once a month and just popping up and just chatting with us. Also, be on the lookout because they're about to start a podcast of their own. If you want to keep up with everything that's going on in New Mexico, be on the lookout for their new podcast. Do you have a name for it?
We don't.
No name yet, and that's the best type of podcast. Now,
What's the
people,
Instagram?
The Instagram is Nomad HQ and Nomad NM.
and it's Nomad with a G, like a gnome.
Like the hat.
Tell them why you got the name.
So my daughter's always called me a garden gnome, and I'm pretty nomadic, and my wife comes put the two together, and we got Nomad.
Boom. It's a family affair you're supporting. It's a guy that really rips them. It's people that care about the quality control. It's people that care about the medicine. What more can you ask for, people? I'm about to move to New Mexico
Yeah, we're
just to
gonna
help
have fun.
support. Yeah.
Bring the fire to y'all.
Yeah.
Stay here.
Look, people look out. Right now, you're hearing it first. We're going to have RDR Genetics going to New Mexico, and the Nomads are going to be taking them to their truest potential because the people with the right intentions have to have the access to the best plants. We need to work together, people. If people want to get in touch with you, if somebody's interested in collaborating, if they have a spot, a shop, they said, damn, I think Nomad will fit this spot. What's the best way to get in touch? Is it Instagram or is there a better way?
Hit them on Instagram.
Instagram will
My
figure it out
wife
here.
is the one that usually runs every bit of that, so it'll be at Nomad_HQ for our headquarters.
At Nomad_HQ, you're going to be chatting directly with the wife, and then you're going to get access to the
So
big man.
be polite and appropriate.
And
Please,
be
for
respectful.
business.
You heathens.
Be respectful. Okay? We're all good people here. Let's help support good people, good business
Yeah.
going forward. That's all we need. Vibe attracts your tribe, people. All right. Thank you for joining us, man.
Yeah,
It was a pleasure.
Yes, thank you.
All right, we are back. We're joined by Caleb, GM from the Nomad Canna Company. Yes, you just met the founder. Now you're speaking with the GM and the solventless specialist, joining us this weekend to learn how to get their solventless division off to the best start. Thanks for joining us.
idea.
Thank you for having me, man. It's been great.
Will you tell us a little bit about what started your journey into the cannabis industry and what attracted you to the solventless division?
Yeah, for sure. So, I started in the rec market when I was 18. I was a bud tender, and then getting to help people and seeing that it was actually helping the patients and seeing them coming in happier, feeling better, their lives just improving. You know, that really made me fall in love with the whole industry. And then the more involved I got in the industry, and following influencers and watching everybody, especially you guys, it just made me fall in love with the hash, because I feel like hash is like the true essence of the plant. Like, you get the true form of the plant in smokable form, and I don't think there's really nothing better than it, honestly.
I agree.
Been agreeing all night about that.
And that, at a certain point, you can't really get any closer to the plant without starting to lose certain aspects of the terpenes or rosin.
Yeah, yeah. Especially fresh frozen solventless, it's one of the best ways to be as close as you can to when it was on the vine itself.
Yeah, the truest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially if you have like some melt, you know, and it's kept proper the whole time. The when you take it out to dab it, that's the hottest tip it's seen since the grow room. You know, so it's truly the plant.
And it's truly art too.
Yeah, 100%. It is hard.
A matter of like a half an hour of unthawed time between being on the plant and being in your under dabber.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's so minuscule things.
Can you tell us a little bit about the scene in New Mexico? What was it like coming up into it out there?
So it started out really quick. The licensing was pretty much open to anybody. Anybody who could apply had a location ready to go. You could apply and get your license. And so that flooded the market with a lot of junk. A lot of people bringing in out-of-state product. Black market being done to the rec market. And then now the market's kind of starting to balance out, but it really feels like it's a race to the bottom, honestly. Everybody trying to pump out the cheapest, the most of it and things like that. So
California market as well as in.
yeah, it's just going downhill, and we're trying to do the complete opposite and show them, what true connoisseurs prefer to smoke, and what is connoisseur smoke.
That's really what's going to give you longevity in the industry, because creating a following of people that can trust you and trust that you're going to be providing them with something that they can trust and look forward to.
Yeah.
Because like with you always come up with whatever's new. Like you guys are doing the best.
Yeah, you got to stay innovative for sure. That's the only way to stay alive. 100%. Do the opposite, pretty much what everybody else is doing. And we just don't want to be in a race to the bottom. We care about the industry. We all have passion for it. We truly love it, and we want to see it go somewhere good. Educate everybody too. That's a huge thing we're trying to push on.
That's what I was just gonna ask, education, because I was gonna ask, how do you protect yourself from getting in that race to the bottom, and how do you convince people that, hey, you want this, maybe spend a little bit more, but get access to this top quality product? How do you do that? Is it education?
Yeah, 100%. It's educating them and letting them know, this is what this is. This is why it's the price point. This is why it looks like this. Why it burns like this. And then showing them something, like some 6-star hash or something that, some flower that's smoking clean, burning white, smooth on the throat. Like y'all said, lasts all the way to the tip. So it's really just educating them, and that starts with us educating. Obviously me and Jason coming to classes like these, educating ourselves, and then educating our bartenders going down the ladder.
Now, does the consumption lounge attached to your dispensary enable you guys to have like tasting events or instructional get-togethers?
Yeah, for sure. So with the wildfires up in Ruidoso, we had to shut down for a little while, but getting back up, we already got some vendors lined up to come do some taste tests on the products they're dropping and stuff. And then once we get our solvent list out from a few flavors coming out and stuff, we plan to do like a heading only event at the smoke lounge, have a bunch of fun to it. And anybody to come in and use our headings too. We will.
That's the way to educate people. And I was going to say, like what you were saying, the best way to educate them is to give them a sample of something after they've already tried the $20, $15, and like, hey, try this. You're like, really giving them an experience now, as opposed to.
Yeah, when you put something side by side like that, like you smoke 2 flowers side by side or 2 dabs, you really see the difference.
The nuance. Funny.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it is. Speaking of cool, I think dabbing's cool.
Hey, T, bro, what about you?
Hell yeah, let's do it.
We have some devilish things left on the wheel at this point, so we're gonna see how this one works out for us. I just realized we gotta tell Sam that he needs to get that index ready too, because I feel like the underwater dab is about to hit.
Probably, I feel like it.
All right,
I felt like it. All right, let's see. Oh no.
Right, yeah.
I feel like that's not a bad one.
That's not quite a bad one.
I don't feel like that's
Got my
that
water out now. I just filled my rig up.
Yeah, we can just go dump our water out, and we'll be good. We got Miyagi's upstairs too. Would you prefer Miyagi?
This one's dry already.
Oh, I'll do that. Yeah, we can do that.
Oh, yeah. You want to use this one or one of those dried trip blocks from Miyagi?
I'll try one of the Miyagis. Yeah, I've been wanting to try one of those. I think those are dope.
They're cool.
Look at that blitz one. Oh, yeah, you have it? Yeah, if you want to get that real quick.
That would be cool.
See one?
Yeah, we have time.
Look at that bad boy.
This looks brand new.
That looks
Yeah, he picked it up
awesome.
on the way.
This is sick.
That's a dry
This is
boy?
different than what I was thinking it would look like.
So we're gonna hit it dry.
That's
so hard.
The blitz. Yeah, I think it is supposed to be dry too. I don't know if it's
I
supposed to
think
be
there's no function at all.
And it's about to be functional.
All right,
Yeah.
3 dries. Here we go, guys. And we're going to be going in at 650 determined on the D2T. There you go. Oh, not bad. That's a cool one.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for
You
it.
guys have the original Z cut, like Skittles.
A lot.
Man
No,
of the
not the
game, yeah.
original. Yeah, not the original yet.
We're gonna change that.
I would like to get that for sure. That would be dope.
Tends to turn out a little bit differently based on your inputs. It definitely turns out a little bit differently indoor compared to sun grown. Definitely a little bit of a slow grow, but sometimes the best. Just like these dried dabs, a little bit of a slow start, but sometimes the best.
Yeah, that rippers though.
I think that wrap just got inflated a little bit more. Look at that.
Literally.
They're sending smoke signals down in the valley. We just answered the fireworks that they saw earlier.
Swear to God, they better not send the fire department.
Let them know where the 6-star is.
All right, what's the one hit review, the one rip review? First time hitting a Blitzkrieg dry pipe. What are your thoughts?
That was pretty hot. I went in like at 680. I went in a little hotter.
That's
impressive.
Yeah, that sounds good, dude. Mine tasted
Definitely still got some flavor from it though.
good flavor, right? You do the right
Yeah.
size dab, you're gonna get good flavor. That's what we always talk
Yeah, I
about.
went in pretty fat. That was probably close to a half grade maybe.
Shout out Blitzkrieg creating some awesome dry pipes. Show that off again for the camera. Check that out.
One of my favorites.
Blitz is killing it. A nice 10 mil. You can toss a control tower on there. You can toss a slurper on there. Anything that fits. That ripped.
Yeah, he does really, really good on his pieces. I love him.
Really good. Speaking of really good, you guys are doing really good with your flower, with your company. If people want to keep up with you on your journey, if they want to know what's going on, or if they're even a New Mexico local and they're trying to come get involved with one of your shops, what's the best way? How can they get in touch? How can they follow you?
So you can follow us on Instagram at Nomad, spelled with the GNOMAD _NM, or Nomad _brand. Those are our two main pages. Just in case one of them gets taken down, we've dealt with that a lot recently. And then my Instagram is CalebG.7, spelled with the CALEB. You can DM me anytime, reach out to us anytime. Then on Facebook, it's the same thing, just Nomad Canico. And DM us anytime, and we'd be happy to chat with anybody about anything you guys want to talk about, for sure.
And if they're a grower in New Mexico and they want you to process for them, can they reach out?
Yeah, for sure. Reach out to us if we can get some collabs going. That would be dope for us. We want to support local brands in New Mexico. That's one big thing we try to focus on in each city that we go to. Is we try to find local producers and manufacturers and have a locals only tier and incorporate that and let them know this was grown here in town and
Yeah, that
coming
is
from the
awesome.
community. So we're really trying to showcase the locals, not really any corporate brand.
Yeah. They're doing the Lord's work out there in New Mexico, so if you're out there, go check them out. They got the locals only stash. You'll be supporting all the locals. If you're on Texas, go support New Mexico a little bit. Doesn't hurt to help your friends.
Hell yeah.
Love thy neighbor. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good rip.
Hell yeah.
Which means we're in the danger zone for having to do an underwater dab. It saved us this far. It hasn't hit yet. And now we are joined by the Vault nationwide.
Let's go.
The Vault has been a part of the podcast for a season or two now. You've seen his boxes on the table. You know that we like to smoke his flower, and he's one of the best reps of Real Deal Resin in all of Southern California. Vault nationwide, thanks for joining us this weekend.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Appreciate you, dude. Now we got the UFC fights going on upstairs. You won a lot of money tonight, I've heard.
Shit.
And today we're going to be talking about what made you exactly get into the cannabis industry and what made you attracted to the solventless division that we are masterclassing this weekend.
Sure, man. So I pretty much come from, like, my whole cannabis career got started with dispensaries. I started off as a bartender and stuff, and starting off as bartending, a lot of product knowledge and education from different brands coming to dispensaries and stuff like that. I had there was a rep for this brand called Cream of the Crop. I believe they're from out of San Diego, actually. Yeah, that's right. They had a rep who came to our dispensary once, and she gave like this whole education on terpenes and like the endocannabinoid system that we all have. And that, I really gravitated with that, and that kind of made me more passionate about learning about terpenes and stuff like that. One thing led to another. Then, we started our own distro in Los Angeles, working with, really good brands, and Real Deal Resin included. And, it's just been, it's
something I've been really passionate about, trying different products and stuff like that. Everything around solvents is just something I've just became really, really passionate about.
Yeah. And have you noticed a change in or a shift in the consumers? People wanting solventless over hydrocarbon?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, I feel like as people get more educated, and then with reps and whatever it is that they have access with, it's all about education. Once people get educated on it, man, it's like it's really hard for them to go back to it. But what I've seen,
That's truth right there.
just how clean it is too. You know what I mean?
Once you know, you can't like unknow it.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. That's usually what I hear the most. Once someone tries solventless, it's really hard to go back.
So you're already a distro, you're already a rep, you already carry a lot of brands. What made you interested in actually learning the ins and outs of how the sausage is made, as they say? What made you interested in actually getting to know the whole process more yourself?
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of brands with Instagram and stuff like that, you get to see it a lot out there. How people, market it and put it out into Instagram and stuff. It's a lot, I mean, at least from my perspective, it's a lot different to actually, learn it from the people doing it, getting like the more insight that, like, just, learning more about it in depth. I mean, that's what really drove me here, wanting to learn about, your guys' product is really, really good, man. So, like, getting any education from people that are actually doing it day in and day out is something I find very, very valuable. That's what brought me.
Get it straight from the specialist.
100%.
Yeah.
You can see it on Instagram all day, but to actually get your hands
Get
dirty,
the tutorial.
yeah, 100%.
Exactly.
It's a lot different, man.
Yeah, it is a lot different to actually do it yourself, see how it's made, and it goes a long way in being able to communicate that to your customer base because you actually understand it better.
100%.
So anybody who's just a rep, I strongly urge them to take a class to at least learn some of the ins and outs on why it is important to understand the process so you can better educate the consumer and tell them why it's better to consume solventless than maybe a distillate pen or some hydrocarbon or some cheaply made product. The more we can educate, the better we can articulate our thoughts and actually understand the process to tell people, the further this will all go together.
Yeah.
And speaking of
Good
going
insight.
far, we're about to go a lot farther and in the direction of up because we're going to get a lot higher. Because the only things left on this chart are, we got to take dry dab off. Oh man, it's getting tricky.
Getting pretty
Have you been
sparse.
taking one off?
Every time, yeah.
Okay.
So we're down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the wheel. So we're gonna have some extras left over. So we'll see. We might not have to do an underwater dive. We're all ready if we need to, though. Let's go ahead and
But
get
it's
this
gonna
thing.
go right now just because you said that.
Oh, blank.
Fine, keep spinning.
Same exact blank one.
We're gonna spin it so we hit one, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
keep spinning.
Ooh, that was close.
Same one again.
Keeps getting green.
Between double slipper and gram dab.
Oh man, all right. $700.
Wow, Darby.
That was suspenseful.
It was.
It's actually cool because I've been doing lives here and there, and that's actually the one I've been practicing the most. Honestly.
700s?
Yeah, 700's the one. Yeah.
Boom. All right, let's do it. Did you bring a ring? What?
Abel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out Raise and Abel.
My man, yeah. Me and him just took one the other day on the headset, dude. And, oof. It's hard to bounce back from those.
All right, so since we're doing 700-degree dabs, we're gonna go ahead and I'll scoop your D2T. Or do you have, here, I'll give you this dabber.
No, we don't have the chart out here.
We do have a chart. We have a D2T.
Enough water.
I thought you saw how much fun we had on the last dab and figured, hey, I want to join them with the dry dabs.
I didn't actually catch that, but sign me up.
See, he
Dry
signed up.
dab, boys.
Would you guys accidentally take a drive on the next thing?
No, we all intentionally did dry dabs the last one.
Yeah, we landed on it.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
All right, this one is gonna be.
Syrups are better though.
What'd you land on? 700? That's fine. This is gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
Get the dab rights ready. So, Julian, what type of flavors do you personally like to put on your menu? Do you look for what your customers ask you for, or do you stock what you like because you know it'll sell?
Great question. Personally, I like to stock up what I personally like.
Because you believe in your taste enough that you know other people will like it.
100%. You know, the vault's been around for about we're going like on six like going on like 6 years actually, like stable, like nonstop. And you know, on those 6 years, most of the stuff that I bring on is usually stuff that I QC or that I personally enjoy. My whole like thought process behind it is like, hey, if it doesn't, the consumer doesn't enjoy it, then I'm going to have to, right? So that's
too.
you know what I mean, bro?
If I'm retiring today, I'll be happy with this.
100%. So with that, you know, over time, you know, the reviews have always been good. People have, you know, usually stuck around with us, man, and you know, that's given me a lot of confidence to stick to my taste and keep on, you know, betting on that when it looks at producing new products and working with new brands and stuff like that.
Yeah, the theme of the night has kind of been QC and just really believing in your products and not faltering in your line and not maybe releasing a questionable batch just for a quick dollar because you realize how far the reputation goes and people trusting your brand. It's a valuable lesson. What are we doing? Yeah, I gave it to him. Perfect. All right.
You're too hot.
Boom.
Okay.
Just another day. Just another day.
Beautiful day in the neighborhood.
This rig was made specifically for this show.
Who made it?
I can't remember now. It's been a long show.
Is there a top for this one?
Yeah, I got you. You can use that one right there. I'll find it.
Oh, perfect. That's it.
Jeez. These are ripping stuff.
They are ripping. So, Julian, what type of advice would you give to somebody that's looking to follow in your footsteps on establishing themselves and starting their own distro brand?
My advice would be to, you know, build meaningful relationships with the right people, man. You know, going about things the right way. Like with Instagram, I feel like it's given a lot of access to a lot of different kinds of people, and just go.
Yeah, you said too hot, so we'll just send them in. Yeah, what he just brought up, dry boys. Instagram has given everybody access, a DM away from everybody, but not everybody should have access to everybody. So have some respect out there. Well, what were you gonna say? I forgot. This is your advice. I can't take his advice. I just to finish this. I hated his advice.
You're not already offended for him?
It's been a long episode, guys. We're sorry. You're still watching. You're about to see somebody break a world record.
Yep. And maybe even win some stuff.
Maybe even win some stuff. If you're watching from home, maybe we'll give you something. Dude, everybody leaves a winner.
Ooh.
How was the dry dab?
It was dry.
Yeah. Would you say it's better or worse than a dab with water?
A little worse.
Yeah.
A little worse.
The worst.
Not.
But it's not. But it's not.
You heard it here first.
It's not detrimental.
Little worse. You just said a little.
Fair enough.
It's good.
So, what advice do you have for the kids?
So yeah, man. You know, just you know, build meaningful relationships with the right people. Go about things the right way, and you know, just do good business, man.
He's good business.
Just do good business. You know, there's I feel like that's something that has really helped out the ball in our process. Is that you know, there's plenty of people out there doing clown stuff, moving about things the wrong way, scamming and stuff like that. So as long as you do good business, do things the right way, build those right relationships, I feel like you'll be. I think things will come together for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have a good reputation. People don't want to fuck with you.
There's too many opportunities in this game. You know, also like there's no rules in this game that we're all in. So to have rules, I feel like definitely makes us stand out, and in the long run, keep in business. Keep feeling.
It's a good point to make. If people at home want to keep up with your journey, if they want to see what you do after this, Julian, if they want to see how you operate on a day-to-day basis, what's the best way to keep up with you? What's the best way to get in contact?
Best way to keep up with us is Instagram, unfortunately, and I say that unfortunately because they're just so on top of cannabis. But I mean Instagram, Masterball nationwide with 2 underscores. changes from time to time. They do take it down, you know. But links are in our bio. You can follow us on Telegram, and we have an active website as well. You know, those are all ways to stay in touch with us.
Yep. All right, we're going to leave all those in the link in bio. If you want to reach out to the Vault nationwide, don't be afraid. They're always on time, discreet, and with the best selection, the best curated menu. Thank you, Vault. Thanks for joining us.
So thank you for the Vault. Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys.
All right. One more.
You've been great.
One more.
Keep there.
All right, we're back. And next up, we are joined by Josh. He is one of our one-day pass joiners who came through to learn how to squish hash today. He's going to get a taste on how to wash some 1904 Donnie Burger tonight. But first, he's going to have to survive this dab. Josh, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Breaking news, also, we forgot to say Josh is the new owner of Valley Grove.
Brand new,
If
just
you got
in.
B to the G, you know it's fire, and now it's owned by Josh. So if you need to reach out and need anything B to the G specific, Josh is your man.
I'm on it.
Josh, tell us a little bit about your background, what got you into the cannabis scene, and what interested you to come learn how to make hash in a solventless variety.
I don't know. I've been smoking for a while. I'm a little older, so I've been doing dabs for a while, but been growing on my garage for a little bit, and realized that I'm still continuing to spend money on hash that you guys are producing, and even though I'm growing my own weed, so I wanted putting it into some hash and learn from the best. And
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great move, especially if you're already halfway through the single fruit process.
Yeah, he's already growing. Why not wash it? So when you said you are already growing, but you're not making the hash, do you consume flower a lot, or are you starting to convert more to just smoking dabs?
Mostly dabs.
Mostly dabs. Okay, so you need to learn to wash.
It feels like the dabs are just more healthy. I'm also into yoga and meditation and more of the wellness community. So anything that's kind of more healthy for you and less plant matter, less stuff going into your lungs. I feel better when I take a dab than rather than smoking a joint. And I actually have some kids too, so smelling like a joint all day in front of them is not the best thing. So
Dabbing's a lot more efficient too. You can just sneak away for
Sneak away
2
for-
minutes instead of 10. Yeah.
that's the best.
Yeah, I agree.
So as you started to get into solventless itself, has there been anything that has surprised you in your journey learning about it, or has there been anything that has stood out to you to be like, wow, this is why I got into it? Is there anything like, for example, when you grow for flower, it's a little bit different from growing for hash. Have you started to look into any sort of strain-specific regimen that you're going to switch to now that you're going to go from flower to washing?
I mean, strain specific, I kind of just want to go with what I like, you know. So
What do you like?
I've been liking the Tropicana mixes.
Beautiful, me too.
So I really, for some reason, those just make me happy. I just like being happy and smoke. So they make me happy. Some good sour diesel. I love to create, so that's a good creative strain for me. Get some painting done or something like that.
Definitely a diesel trade.
Yeah. Those couple work ones, old school.
I love sour diesel. I feel like a lot of people are trying to find that real diesel cut and that real sour, but it's elusive, you know? That's why I love our garlic juice, because it kind of tastes like a sour, but it's a different rendition. Not in the lineage, but still tastes great. So have you ever done anything as extreme as what we're about to do today?
Oh no,
No?
this is it.
This is it right here.
The pinnacle.
So we're going to the
Welcome to
mountaintop,
Thunderdome.
and you're going straight to the mountaintop of a few choices now. We're down to only...
I know, like, how did I get down here?
This is going to be a tough one, buddy. We're either doing a double slurper, an underwater dab, a black market glass, or a gram dab. I'll explain it when we land on it. Let's see. Without further ado, this is the last dab of the show.
Let's go.
Here we go.
You might have to spin it a couple times. Yeah, blank.
Blanket.
Double slurper.
Slurp.
Double slurper. We made it through the whole
And
show.
check out that big bomb down there.
Water. Or
That'll take a double slurper, right?
it might. If you pull up that big bong, I bet the water melted, so we'll have to be careful. I think it did, so we're probably gonna have to pour out some of this water. No, actually, it'll work. Oh, it poured into there. Oh, good. Oh,
Timber.
should we just put this on a different rig? See, this is what happens at the end of the show, guys. We need a 14. That's probably going to be our best bet, huh?
It's good now.
Have you ever done a double slurper before? All right.
Oh, you don't have one of those sitting around?
You don't have one of these old things?
It's hard enough to clean a single slurper. I don't know if I could clean a double slurper.
All right. Luckily enough, you're not going to have to worry about cleaning it up, just ripping
We
it.
got you.
We
Rip
got
it.
your back. We just got it filthy, so we're going to have to torch the hell out of it.
Rubbing alcohol.
So how did you get involved in solventless?
In solventless specifically, we were consuming a lot of hash. Once I started trying solventless from like Authy, Pua extracts, Skittles from 3rd gen, it really shifted how we wanted to smoke, because before that we were on the diamond craze. So it was like the terpene layer with the separated diamonds. But it was a little bit harsh on the lungs. And that's what we were growing for, was fresh frozen. But as soon as we started to consume ourselves dabs, specifically rosin, with the harvest right and the press, it changed the way we consumed. And then we wanted to just start producing it ourselves to be able to consume it. And then we got so popular that other people wanted to consume it, so we just did our best to scale up to allow as many people to try it without forfeiting our QC that made us popular here in the first place.
Your branding has a lot to do with it.
Branding's all about having fun. It's the experience. That's why we're here, right?
Love it.
If you're not enjoying your time, why are you having any time at all, you know?
We're going to do 2 different
We're
flavors?
doing 2 different flavors. I think that when you use these bangers, you truly do get 2 different flavors flavored to the palate. So here's the one. And then we go banana daiquiri on the other side.
That sounds like a good mix.
Good mix.
Banana daiquiri and VTK.
So we'll heat this up and then hand it to you, and then we can apply it the dabs with blue feed. Do you have a half here?
Clean it.
Let's just torch it clean. Maybe?
And so did you start in the East Coast, and you've been in Mendo, or did you start mostly doing it in Mendo?
Only in Mendo, so we didn't start making any hash until we moved to Mendo. He reversed, he pulled the switcheroo on us, Darby. He's interviewing us.
He's good.
Yeah, he is good.
I'm here to ask questions, man. I'm here to learn.
He is good one. You think you go in now?
Double slurper.
Double
Do
slipper.
it.
Damn.
Now, have you ever heard of hash engineers?
I saw your last
Episode, where was with him.
Funny you mentioned that.
So in your right hand is the Hash Engineers Skittles Triangle Kush.
Okay.
And in your left hand is our single source banana daiquiri, which is a blended run of our Amarillo Keeper Pinot with our Nalmar Keeper Pinot, single source. 2 different slurpers, 2 different strains.
There's going to be fire.
One man against all odds. The new owner of Valley Grove.
The new owner of Valley Grove.
And after this,
The ink
folks,
still dry.
yeah, they're still drying, but
but-
don't worry.
Still drying
it's
in
gonna
my
dry.
smudge.
There's no shredding in the contract at this point. After this, we're breaking a world record, so stay tuned, folks.
Yeah.
This is the last solo dab of the show. Check the temps. It is. There's a lot that goes into this. A lot of moving parts. Oh, yeah, right here. You on?
Yeah, 600 on this one.
So I'll put it right here for you to hit. Oh, you're at 600?
No.
One's at 800, one's at 600.
That's what will happen, probably. Darby does that. That's his finishing move. Having an alarm go off mid-show and giving me dabs at 800 and 1,000.
Hot dab, baby.
690 on my side.
650 on my side.
What do you want to go in at? 600?
It's a good show.
600.
Show me what's up.
600 just to feel alive.
Let's do it.
Because together it's 1,200.
Love it. I like that, man.
And I'll just go in immediately with you.
Mine's at 600.
Yep. Double slurper. Second time on the show, twice as nice. Thunderdome. I went in super hot.
But you didn't leave him hanging, and he took a dab with him when he did the double slurper.
All the
When he spun on the wheel.
never leave a man behind. The ice all melted. The glycerine coil is off, but he still did the double slurper. I probably just did
Look,
like,
he likes it now.
you like it?
I like that.
Yeah, it's not bad. Did you taste the difference hitting your palate and the two strains?
Of course.
Yeah, right? It really does. For the people at home saying it's just like the same as one dab or two strains, it's totally different.
You hit.
It's
feel it in
different.
different parts
Smoke,
of your mouth.
vapor, yeah. It hits like on your palate different because the smoke does not converge until the last second.
And different viscosity might even prevent them from converting.
Darby has this viscosity theory. We've been going into it. Some people say flat Earth. We don't know.
I don't know, man.
We saw some hot air balloons take off today. They landed. They never went anywhere. Flat
There's a
Earth.
satellite they were pulling up in there. I don't know.
Elon launched some internet. It never got better. There's a lot at stake. But today, you put your claim on this double banger steak. You did a great job, Josh. You made history. You're going to learn a lot tonight. We still got a lot going down. If people want to follow your journey, they want to get in touch, they want to be your friend, how can they reach out?
Yeah, how?
I mean, I guess Instagram. We can do a Josh WA 138.
138.
138. If you reach out, Joshua's coming through to the session. If you want to talk terps, have a good discussion about the same passions, he's your guy. Come through for a good vibe. Josh, thanks for joining us for this class, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
We slayed that dab, dude.
You guys are
Proud of you, brother.
Or
I'm wheezing.
or
I'm
if you have the
wheezing.
real sour diesel cut.
If you have the real sour
Tap
tea,
in.
let us know and let's get that shit washed.
All of us want it.
Everybody wants it.
Everyone wants it.
Those are some good choices. Yeah. All right. I think that might be a wrap.
Put a bow on it.
For everybody that made it possible, Roz and Evo, thank you.
Thanks, Robert Evo.
1904 Provisions, thank you.
1904.
Thank you, Real Deal Resin, Masterball Melts, Small Batch Sam. Thank you
guys
to the
kill it.
chefs, everybody that came through from all different states. Beautiful fire, beautiful vibes. It was a great time. We still have one whole day tomorrow, but this is the end of the Poolcast. Stay tuned. If you're lucky, we're going to take a camera upstairs and break a world record right now.
Like, go
Patreon,
back to the live.
subscribe. Actually, should we put it on Patreon only? World record?
We'll reckon on Patreon if we want to expand.
Stay tuned. Patreon. Stay tuned. See? That's it. All right, cut it, Sarah.